Good evening, everyone. Welcome to your Sunday Spice conversation with the Love Crusader. Um, Tonight's show promises to be very exciting. I know so many people have been waiting for this from the feedback that I got. Just posting the flyer. So people were like, yes, 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 we've been waiting for this. So, hey, here we are. It's Love and Sex Month, everyone. And if you're just coming across this platform for the first time, this is Conversation with the Love Crusader. It is conversation around love, life, and relationships. We are live every Sunday on YouTube at Men Fences, on Facebook at Men Fences, on LinkedIn or as my personal profile, Oko Joseph Comfort Omotese. You can search and connect with us on any of these platforms, and we promise that you always find something exciting, something to learn. Our dream is to ensure that everyone goes through life enjoying their relationship as God intended originally. All right, people. Like I said, it is time for talking about the elephant in the room. The one that many people don't like to talk about, but is a big horn issue. Yeah, the entire month of November we'll be dealing with love and sex. And if we cannot finish, we're not going to rush it, we'll continue. This is because sex is one of the most important part and aspect of any relationship. All right, let me quickly introduce my guests. They are two in one, but I introduce them individually because they play different role. Going by ladies first, Titi Izwaje is not a visitor. She's not a guest. She's a regular. She is a co-host of this show.
I should be introducing people by now.
Very soon we'll start giving her the level to be introducing her because
I don't need introduction anymore.
yeah. Don't worry. When we start hot seat next year, we start having couple of the month. We have couples on the hot seat. Then Titi will start showing people her interviewing skills. All right, but today she's not alone. So we have a guest. Her husband, Anogena Izwaje, is here. This is one of the biggest people that, to bring him to screen, you have to be powerful. So today I call myself a powerful.
You are powerful.
He always likes to be behind the scene, helping and supporting. But me, I like to drag him to the front of the camera, and he's here today. What was he that time? Vice President, Tending Ministries. All right, welcome to the platform.
Thank you for having me once again. I think the first time I came, it shook some people, and even today's one has shaken some people too, because I was given this opportunity one time and I said, live, no way. If it's recorded, okay, maybe, but maybe I'm growing.
I'm powerful.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I'm not alone. I'm not alone.
We see that.
I have my husband with me here today. Because we're going to be talking intimate things. I mean, we're talking about love and sex. It's just proper for us to start because you can't be talking about what you can't give. I mean, you can't give people what you don't have, So it's just proper for us to start as a family. Reverend Oko Joseph is here. Say hello to everyone. Welcome to the platform.
Hello, everyone. It's always a great pleasure to be here. And this is a topic that I like talking about. I hope we have an interesting session this evening.
Yeah, if you remember, and if you have watched previous episode, he's a volunteer guest. The very day we said,
yes, I remember.
He said, please, I want to be here. So he's here right now. And you don't want to miss this. Wherever you are, please share, tell your friends, invite them. It's going to be an interesting, very, very super interesting conversation that we are going to have tonight. All right, all right, all right, all right. I'm going to do another level of introduction so that when we are talking, people know the background. So AU, an organizer, Jan Titi, I was just teasing them today, asking them how long they've been married. You want to tell us?
How long we've been married?
Yes.
Let me count.
Jesus.
All right, 14 years.
14 years.
Yes, and we've known each other for 18. So
So you people see that we are bringing those who know the act, who do the act, who okay. I won't say more than that.
yeah,
Well,
I would do agree with you, Sha.
14 years of, I'm reading their CV so that you people know the people that are talking to. It's 14 years of love and sex for AU and Titi, and it's 24 years. I know. Why did you wait 10 years after you married before you married? Child.
I was doing IT. I was doing IT.
All right. Let's go into the cross of the matter. Let's start. The first thing I want to ask is, and I think we should just use this to form a basis for the conversation for the entire month, is sex overrated? People are doing home talk now.
Well, if you ask me, as you're asking me now, oh, it depends on the context in which you're looking at it.
Okay.
I think that in the context of marriage, I wouldn't say. I think sex is overrated. And the reason why I'm saying that is not that sex is not important. We have established that today, that it is one of the most important ingredients when it comes to marriage. But I say it is overrated because of the way it is being portrayed, in marriage and outside of marriage.
Okay.
Outside of marriage is way worse because you feel like, if I don't sleep with him or sleep with her, everything will scatter. I won't be able to hold him and all that. In the context of marriage, people feel like, I don't know. I just think that it is overrated in some context sometimes, so.
You have not really known the we are not speaking of Proverbs today.
Okay, can I?
Yes, sir.
I think I beg to differ with my baby.
Okay.
Well, I will agree with her outside marriage, but I think in marriage, I don't think it's overrated. One, watch the people that don't have it and where they go to. Do you understand what I mean? I mean, it has ended so many marriages. It has led husbands to go out, wives to go out, husband and wife becoming enemies. I remember long ago, my dad would tell me that my dad told me that when you see a woman insulting her husband outside, and she cannot tell you why the man is a useless man, that their outside room, they are not the man is not performing. And he told me that a while ago. I wasn't even married yet, or maybe when I was preparing to get married. And if it's overrated, why do these things happen? I just feel it is a tool that God has given to humans, to man, to be able to do some things they do in marriage, as in the wonders that they do in marriage somehow. When I mean man, I'm talking with Bible classification now, man and woman. So that's my take.
So the reason why those things are happening, people are going out, is because sex is overrated. If it is not overrated, people will be stepping out, of their marriage to go look for it, But
Can I ask you a question? What me and my honorable boss were talking some days ago when I said, "Oh, we're coming on a program together." That he has plenty names, so I don't think there's any other thing in this world that has plenty names like that. I don't think it's overrated. It's just there for if it's a vital part of a relationship, like relationship, we're talking marriage now, right? Then it can't be overrated. If it's ignored, there's problem. If it's, I think it's just
All right,
yeah.
Reverend, give us your take.
Yeah, I want to say that it's not overrated. In fact, this is something that God created for our pleasure. Something we should enjoy. And the reason why I say it's not overrated is that everyone wants it. Even the people who are in marriage and people outside of marriage understands the importance of this thing. And I'm just going to read a scripture that makes sense to me in First Corinthians chapter 7 from 3 to 5. The Bible says something. It said the husbands, I'm reading from the English Standard Version. It says the husband should give to the wife her conjugal rights. Her conjugal rights. And likewise the wife to her husband. For the wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. Likewise, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does. Number 5 says, do not despise one another, except perhaps by agreement for a limited time. Now, the reason why it says so is that so that Satan may not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. Now, if sex was not important or was something that is overrated, God will not talk about it. The scripture will not even make mention of it. It's imperative that we understand that sex is very, very important. For me, I see sex as a glue. I see sex as a lubricant. It oils the wheel of love. So for you to say it's overrated, it's something that I will beg to differ. It's not overrated. It's very needed in the home. Yeah.
Okay, so
well, wait 1 minute.
wait.
I think we are deviating a bit.
Let me give a bit of a background to this question, so maybe to help us understand where we're going better. You understand? We are not saying it's not important and it's not important. We are not saying that. I'll give you an example. A friend of mine posted on his status, and this is a guy. I think it was last year or so. It was his wedding anniversary, whether 8 years or so of marriage or something, if I can remember very well. And he said things he learned from marriage, the things he learned from being married these years. And one of the things he wrote there, he said sex was overrated. And I asked him, bro, what do you mean? So he was like, that sex in marriage is not the same like what we see or what we have heard or what we were expecting, maybe what the magazine tells us or what the books tells us, or the butterflies, the shaky body, the shaky head. It's every time body will shake, it's every time head will shake, stuff like that. He was just trying to say that in the real deal, it is not as what would have or expected it to be. So in the light of that, because some people, maybe not all of us here, may have had the experience outside of marriage, and then coming into marriage, like, is there a difference? There's that. We've done it, especially when you have been there for years. You are married 14 years, you are married 15 years, 20 years,
23
you take
years.
24 years, you take dating. You know, doesn't it become more of a routine? Or like what he just picked from the Bible now, a right. And I don't like that word. I don't know why. When it comes to sex, I don't like the word to say it's a right. But it's in the Bible there. He just read it. Or maybe like an obligation. Is it really still like Uncle A was saying now, plenty names? And there's a reason for the plenty names. I'll soon tell you. We'll soon talk about that too. Why the thing has plenty names. But is it really still as, AU, when you were still cutting titi and how you were waiting for that wedding night? Is it still like that? Can it still be like that?
Shocking you.
Yeah. The guy that was doing 8 years. Let me just say something there first before I go towards it. Our experiences tend to form our opinion.
Exactly.
Go deep. It's possible that he's not having, Ayo, or the Boscoria is not plenty. And then, or possibly he came into it with the magazines and videos in his head.
Mm-hmm.
But reality.com happens when you get married. Those people that do those videos and write all those write-ups, it's also a product of their experiences or something they learned. So if you're going into marriage with the mind that you are doing as you were doing when you were a playboy in secondary school, university, or
Or
you
just
get
seeing the magazines.
you get disappointed
Mm-hmm.
because once you get married, you and the lady have become one. You are married, so this, what I call it, youthful exuberance, is no longer there. So it's like everything don't settle, you know.
But is it not, I mean, if it's
That's
not supposed to remain exciting,
The what I'm
doesn't
no,
it now become dry and boring if, okay,
it
we
is
don't marry, everything don't settle?
it
Then we're
is
not
it is
having settled sex.
it is not. I don't see it that way. Um,
Okay.
what I would like to see it as is you going down the memory lane. Okay, wedding nights, for example. Now everybody's looking forward to the wedding night. For those that it will be their first time, people are already doing it before and they just became legal. There's nothing special about wedding night except that deceiving themselves. If they've been doing it before and it gets to the wedding night, it's what they've been doing hidden, and that has come, that they're still going to do. Like there's a joke we used to say, a Spirikoko sister and a brother got married, and at night the brother woke up, just the brother wanted to check email. I was trying to tell his sister. Sister not, brother, even you. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. She's already married, but it's like we are spiritual brethren, right? And we're married. It didn't click that she's married. So when the brother was trying to tell her, even you, so you join those people where they won't do this thing. You understand? Now that's how it is for people that were very active. I had a friend. No, not had. I have a friend that was very active when he was a copper. He was very active. I mean, when he gave me, he said his roommate was helping him to keep his flatmate was helping him keep the count of how many ladies he was with during just 1 year of youth service. And then if he's that active and he goes into marriage and gets married to a lady that's not hyper too, when it comes to that, there'll be a big problem. So that's
Aha.
like, yeah, there'll be a big problem because this thing has to do with um the two people coming together and making it work. There's nothing that you leave to chance, even in life. Even the marriage itself, let's leave sex as marriage on its own. Let's leave the sex part. You have to work at it every day.
Okay.
Well,
Do you have any other thing to say on that? Because now Arno brought me to a question I'm going to ask from something he just said now.
Yeah, I'm still on the same lane that the fact that someone is not having a good sex life in his bedroom or in their relationship doesn't make it overrated. To be quite honest, it's something that the couples involved should enjoy and try to spice things up when you feel that maybe you're not getting the quality of what you had expected when you were coming into marriage. Is to try to rejig things and do things differently. I don't think that it's overrated. It's like we're all trying to establish. It has to do with your level of expectation. And remember, some of the things that people watch in movie is a make believe. Some of these people are professionals who are trying to earn a living. And if you come into marriage thinking that, okay, from what I have seen, I want to toe the same line, you will kill yourself. Oh. You just have to understand that not everything that you see are the same. You have to know who your partner is and the level of what they can take and what they want, and be able to give them what they want. But for us to think that it's overrated, I don't think so. I think it's just made for us to enjoy ourselves, and the more we're able to put things well in the bedroom, the better we have good results, I must say.
Go on. Finally on that point.
Okay, finally on that point. Just like I wanted to point out initially, we're not saying it's not important. We're not saying it's not vital. We're saying overrated from the perspective of what people expect when they enter inside marriage space, either before they get married or whilst they are married. All these perceptions of what they see, what they've watched, what they've heard, the stories they've heard about, like the wedding night he was talking about, they just have this high sense of expectation. Our wedding night has to be perfect. It is going to, we are going to kill each other that night, So it is from that perspective, or when you finally get married, like for those that have not been sexually active before marriage, they're like, I just cannot wait. Let me just marry. Once I marry, some people think that the only thing married people do is just have sex all day, as in free access, So from that perspective is where we are coming from and saying it is overrated. It is not as the way it has been hyped to be, and we're not saying that even in marriage, you won't feel the sparks and everything, even after so many years. Like everybody has said, it needs to be worked on. You can still enjoy it. But that perception, that idea that marriage and sex is all and all. And once I enter like this, hey, I cannot even wait to start. After a while, you wait, So all is from that perspective of that hype, that pedestal that people are like, sex is blah, 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 That's why we are saying it is overrated. Sex will always be important in a marriage relationship. Always, always, always. Very, 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 very important, So that is it.
Okay. Thank you all very much. Very much, very much. I totally 100% wholeheartedly agree with Sister Titi. So me, I'm with her because I'm going to expose some people. When we got married, hey Jesus, we do used to remember food. Okay. No, nobody was hungry. He says some people think it's all married people do. It was all some married people did at the beginning of the marriage. Hey! It was as if this water that I've been waiting to drink,
I was drinking to the fullest.
They finally gave me the job, man.
Oh Lord.
What's wrong with you?
We are here to say that it is, my darling. But the truth is, This is 24 years.
Mm.
You cannot expect that the way we were turning head upside down that time and going from kitchen to bathroom to, it should still remain like that for after 24 years. This is what we are talking about. Because if we don't sensitize the mind of people about this, some people just jump into this marriage thing purely thinking about sex and the need to satisfy the sexual desires. It's not going to. Okay, let's come now to one of the questions I want to ask. So as much as we have said it's important, we're not saying it's not important. It's necessary. It's good. It's the lubricant, according to my husband, Oyibo, that keeps the marriage rolling. Can good sex alone keep a marriage? So you get what I'm trying to say? This couple, they are fantastic. When two of them come together, it's chemistry, it's magic. They are making waves in the bedroom. Can that alone sustain a good marriage? Can it keep a marriage?
I'm going to look at it from two school of thoughts. It could be either a yes or a no. Now, some school of thoughts believe that sex is not enough. Now, I want to say it this way. Every woman, most women would want good sex in their marriage. Most women will. They want that satisfaction. They want you to be able to hit that note. You understand? And for every woman that you are able to hit that note would want to remain. In fact, she will be happy about it. She'll give you a good meal the next morning in bed, sir. Do you understand?
Okay, now.
Sex can keep a marriage. There are people who are married to poor people who are very good in bed. They will tell you, I prefer this than to the rich man. Wow. And there are other people who will say, I prefer that one who takes me all over the world, even if he doesn't know how to do it in the bedroom. So it can either be a yes or a no. It depends on person to person. It depends on what the woman in question needs. For me, I would want to stay on that school of thought that said a good sex can keep a woman, but to some extent, because if that woman is hungry and has not the sex might not be able. So that's what I'm saying. It's balance.
The sex will be hungry. It will be hungry sex.
So when that woman is hungry, sex might not be enough. She might enjoy it. She might get the maximum satisfaction, but there are limits to everything. I'm not going to say, okay, sex will take the place of food and provision for your family. No, I'm not going to sit here and say that. But once the bedroom is good enough, the man knows what he's doing, he understands it very well. At least you will be sure that about 50 to 70% of the problem has been solved. But to totally tell you now that it will satisfy everything, that's not true. It's not going to be true. There are women who will not mind as long as the man is able to satisfy them, to keep managing, hoping for a better future. But there are some that it's a no for them. No matter how good, how prolific you are, you're not going to just sit down there taking all the sexual intercourse without having food to eat. My people, I don't think it's a two-way thing depending on who is involved. That's my own take.
Okay, hold on first. The woman will be happy. The woman will be happy. The woman will be happy. Is it only when a woman is happy that a marriage stays? What of the man?
Basically,
yes.
I'm talking from my experience.
Yes, it is only when the woman is happy. Happy woman, happy marriage.
Yes.
My experience with her has shown that when she is happy,
you have put me on the spot now.
Yeah, I'm going to put her on the spot. When she is happy, everybody is happy. When she is not, we are all going to be running helter-skelter. So we try to make her happy. So we can have a good marriage. You understand?
My God.
I don't have a problem. I'm a very simple and easy person to convince.
Yeah.
What makes me happy?
Let me see your simple and easy face.
What makes me happy? Just give me good sex and give me peace, and I'm happy.
Ring the bell. Okay, hey, you tell us, what do you think?
I don't think good sex can sustain a marriage alone. Just like Ajinomoto and Curry and Maggi For those that don't know how to cook, would think that putting plenty will make the food sweet, right? There are all tools and ingredients that will spice up the marriage. We have sex, intimacy, you spend time together. And again, this a marriage working or not working depends on the two people that are in it and how they fare. If my wife likes quality time, right, and she's not getting it, I call my by quality time, not sex now, saying you spend time together and all that. She's not getting it. That marriage is not going to work. Whether you have plenty of the other ones. So that means it's just like good 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 food has all the right ingredients. So I would want to say that yes, good sex is good. But there are other things that will add to it to make the marriage a success. Besides, it's both ways now. The guy gets satisfied, the lady gets satisfied, they are happy. At the end of the day, they're sweating, they go and take their bait and don't have strength anymore. Yeah, it's both ways.
Okay. Titi, do you have a comment on that? Or you're okay with what has been said?
I think I agree. I agree that sex alone cannot sustain a marriage. For those people that they connect sexually alone, it's just a matter of time before everything explodes. It can only take you so far. So you see a couple they just got married, chemistry is tight, they're enjoying great sex. Just give it time. In a couple of years, somebody in the relationship is suffering, and it's just a matter of time before the person can no longer take it anymore. So sex in itself, just like he was saying, is like good food. You can't just keep putting one ingredient and thinking it will make up for others, So it's almost, I think it is always sex and other things that make the marriage.
I love that. I love his analogy of the spice, the curry, the maggi, the salt, the pepper,
I like food.
My darling, it's not a crime to be a foodie. We are plenty in that WhatsApp group. All the foodies. It's a very, very beautiful analogy of what marriage is about. You have to put all the right ingredients. And so sometimes when people just I'm saying this not to how would I put it, not to discredit the importance of sex in marriage, but to help those who are not married. If you're not married, you're looking forward to marriage, it's good. Sex in marriage is necessary and important, but don't concentrate on that. Don't let that be the thing in your head. How you are going to finally sleep with this person. If you are a Christian and you're following the Bible and you are being how do they use the word celibate? Abi, there's a word for it. That's your
Abstinence.
You're abstaining from premarital sex as a Christian. Then you are now looking forward to it. Oh, this brother that has been holding himself since watching this sister. Today we are going to kill ourselves. Where that chemistry would actually or can actually last for a while. But if the other ingredients are not there to continue to support it, then I believe it will just fade away. Because you can actually have good sex with anyone. And I think this is where some brothers miss it. I'm going to be looking for brothers' trouble there now. There has to be this connection. So I'll come to one of the outlines that we're talking about. We're talking about what we're going to be talking of today. What sex means for a man and for a woman. psychologically, from what we read in books, I'm not a psychologist anyways, but from what we read in books, they say a woman has to feel some emotional connection for sex to be good. A man can just come, do his thing, and go. And that is why it's possible for some men to keep strings of women, because they are not really emotionally attached to these women. They'll be telling you, me, I love my wife. There's no doubt I love my wife, but these are my side chicks. Why are they able to sustain that? They are not emotionally vested in these side chicks. And a man can actually keep his marriage for years and maintain his side chicks along. But you see, when a woman starts cheating, problem starts. Because the truth is, she has connected with this person first emotionally, most cases, and then it becomes like the end of the marriage. Her marriage, she's unable, therefore, to keep both together. I don't know whether you are getting is this a true philosophy of it, man versus woman, how they see sex? Because an understanding of this can help us, also in the bedroom as married people.
I think I agree. I agree with the analogy, and it is a true analogy. I think there's some form of science to even back it up, because the way a man views or approaches sex is very much different from the way a woman approaches sex, and we know most women, yeah, there will be exceptions, but generally speaking, most women are more emotionally developed. They are more in tune with their emotional side. And most times when people explain this thing, they explain as if it's a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It is just part of being woman, So both parties have their areas to work on. Because for the man, he doesn't need that emotional mushy to sleep with anybody, just like you're saying. That's the area he needs to work on. Because he's a visual man, he's a visual person. So he's visually motivated. For the woman, it's not really like that. The woman connects emotionally first. And that's another area she needs to work on too. So it goes both ways. They view sex differently, and is one thing the more we begin to understand these things, the better. Those people the man that say, I love my wife, but this I'm just if he has a better understanding of the way he sees it, he won't if he has a better understanding that it's affecting the woman emotionally, directly and indirectly is affecting him too, he might not toe that line, so.
All right, guys.
All right. I want to say that yeah, the man and the woman are two different entities. God created them that way. And the way it is for a man, the man gets to top of the Everest fastest. And of course, since he got there fastest, he comes down fastest too. If you know what I mean. The women, they go at a slow speed to the Everest. I want to build tabernacle there. That's it's nature, that they stay there longer, and then then start to come down. Since it's something that has to do with two people that have decided to live together forever, I think it's something that I have to know her and she has to know me. Now, since the guy gets, she's a sprinter and the other one is a marathon person, we went for a conference in, no, not a conference, it was a couples meeting in Jos some years back. And then somebody was saying that a woman was married for 13 years and she had not experienced orgasm.
Bam.
Biko.
Hey, that's the elephant in the room today.
13 years. 1 and 3 like this. I mean, it was like, So, yeah, of course, they'll have children. It doesn't have anything to do with children. So that means The guy drives his sport car, go to the garage. Once he just enters the garage, you just say, I need to go out again, and drives out. You understand?
Wicked man.
Yes.
He's a wicked man.
You see,
He doesn't know. He doesn't understand.
that's what I'm saying. You have to understand. So it's possible he doesn't even know, because that lady and the woman has not said anything in the spirit of sportsmanship.
She doesn't even know. I think she was hearing
Because
orgasm
they were
for the first time.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
talking, and then she was not saying, what's orgasm?
Hold on, I agree with you, because I think I was anchoring a forum for women like that. I was going to bring this conversation later, and I'm looking at the time. Maybe we're going to do 2 hours today. I was anchoring a conversation with women, and yes, this happened at my event. You know, this woman had been married with 2 kids. So I can't remember whether it was up to 13 years, but I mean not less than maybe 10, 8 years. And you know, we kept talking about orgasm. We had one very nice sister. Hi, it's true. I should look for a way to bring that lady here. And she was really explaining it to us how, you know, you do it as a sister, you know. And so when she kept mentioning it, lady, and I said, please, I'm sorry, what are you talking about? You know, like, what is orgasm? I looked at that. We're all married women here. And see, how long have you been married? You are asking us, what is orgasm? Then another person said, yes, me too. I don't know what people are talking about. Another one said, me too. I don't know. I said, Jesus, I'm in trouble. So, like you said, I call it hit and run. You said they park in their garage and they drive in and drive out. Most men are doing what I call, my own name for it is hit and run. These women are not getting satisfaction. And because it is church, that's why I was going to bring this back later. Church women most times have been taught submission in a sense that makes them feel Abby. Okay, let me allow you to continue.
Okay, I want to say that to the man, when it comes to sex, it is his own way of showing love and affection. The man feels that when I have intimacy, sexual intercourse with my wife, I'm expressing my love to her. And when she reciprocates that, she's also showing me how much she loves me. That's why you see a man, you know, at that heat of the moment, he says, if you love me, give it to me, do it with me. He feels that that's the way you can show love.
It's teenagers' language, actually. Young boys. If you love me, then you have to give me sex. Go on.
Now, for the woman, sex is a huge commitment. For a woman, for any woman, sex is a huge commitment. It is her pride, it is her honor. That is why if it is taken from her forcefully, it is like you have killed her. You have killed her spiritually. She's just living bodily. To a woman, sex is everything. That's her pride. It's like, I call it, for the woman, it's like a nuclear weapon for her. She can use it against the husband. She can use it against the boyfriend. She can use it against anybody. You know, women know how to do that. We can come on the screen here now and say all of the things, but women know how to use their hand and cover it and say, no, not today. Why the man is there suffering?
Is God.
Women use sex as a weapon to get whatever they want. You understand? A few days ago, I saw a clips online, and this young man was trying to, get sex from the girlfriend. And the girlfriend said, no, you said you're going to buy me bone straight. You have not got it. The boy said, I will buy it.
I will buy it.
Anything this girl was mentioning, iPhone 13, he said, I will buy it. Let's just do it quickly. I will give it to you. So that is a dangerous weapon. It is the only potent lethal weapon that the woman knows how to use in the bedroom and get whatever she wants. So we will not divert, we will not shy away from that truth. Every woman, even our mother, they used it all. Yes, now they know what to do. They know that when it comes to that point, at that point where that man is so tense, he can promise you heaven and earth. He doesn't have it all, but he can make those promises just to satisfy himself. It's most unfortunate, but that's what God has given them.
Sorry. I know.
That's the difference between a man and a woman.
We know that the man has more drive, and I want you to comment on this. We know the man has a stronger drive, But is it not the same for the woman? I mean, there are
Nah.
women who have some women have very strong sex drive.
There
agree.
are exceptions.
I agree with you.
Exceptions.
I know a couple. Sorry to cut you. I know a couple. My friends, they are my friends, and if they are watching this, they know themselves. The man used to run like, "You want to kill me?" And the woman is always complaining. She's always telling me, "Don't mind him, Ole. You can't even do two, and you'll be tired." I said, "Two, he has tried now." She said, "What is two?" So there are women who actually have very strong sex drive. And it can also become a tool that is used against them, because I know that woman used to tell me, because the husband knows she really likes sex, he withholds it when he's angry. Doesn't it happen also the other way? What do you think?
Yeah,
That man is very lucky.
It does.
That man is very, very lucky. It is one
that again.
out of 100. That man, I
Yes,
must tell you, is very lucky.
He's a very lucky man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would say this: in as much as it's a guide, a guide thing. The drives a guide thing. Why I mean a guide thing? If we have to be sincere, if every single couple on earth have to be sincere with themselves, if you have spent 10 years in marriage, the number of times that the woman will ask for it, you can count it in your hands.
Yes. I agree.
Yes.
I agree.
No, that's not to say.
Guys, why are you shouting so much agree?
That's not to say that there are no women with a very high sex drive. When I went to serve, it was first day in camp, and then by the next day morning, we were seeing evidence of things that happened in the dark. And then a lady was passing with her friends. I said, I cannot stay with her sex a day. And since me, I was cheerleader, I just turned and looked at her. I said, you cannot. So that means if you're in a relationship and then you're in camp for 3 weeks, what will happen? That's those kind of things will result in what we saw by the fence in the morning. I mean, it was just the first night in camp. You understand? So there are ladies that have that drive, high drive. And if you have that and then you go and get married to a man that's on the other side of the divide, as is not too into it, then the woman is in trouble.
Okay, because of time, hold on. I have a question here. Someone has asked us via LinkedIn. We're going to answer the question. Then I'll come back to a question from what you just said now. Sex drive. We'll talk a bit about sex drive. So this person says, can the devil use sex as a weapon against couples? You know, he wants examples, you know.
Yeah.
Yes. So
I think in the course of the opening of this statement, I mean this conversation, I already read a scripture to us, you know, that talked about it. And it said you should not withhold sex. That's 1 Corinthians 7 from 3 to 5. He says we should not withhold sex from our partners. What was the reason? He said that so that Satan may not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. I believe very, very seriously. Like we already talked, I already told you that some women use it as a weapon. Some men are suffering. Some men are suffering in their marriages. I tell you the truth.
True.
Imagine how somebody who was married, for instance, one of the reasons why I got married is that I didn't want to continue, or I don't want to live in sin, so to speak. And I wanted to get married. And my joy was I found somebody that I loved. And the truth is that from the day I married her, I have never for once, stopped, enjoying sexual relationship with her. She is here. She knows. It's something that I will bother her for at any time because that's what I want. Now, the absence of these things is going to put me in trouble. And I don't want that. And we have to tell ourselves the truth. This is a weapon that the devil uses to ensure that homes are scattered. Because when the man is in that position, he just needs to know, and there's nowhere to know. And he now... And the man is in trouble. You're there punishing the man. He's in trouble. He goes and he drives out. And one miscreant, one lady just talk nonsense before you know it don't enter. Everything don't scatter. And you just need once for it to become a problem. Then once the man goes out and feels that comfort, feels that love, feels that warmth, feel welcoming, that's all he needs. And then you begin to blame him. I'm not going to sit here now and give credence to adultery or for any man to misbehave, but don't deny your partner that right. Even the Bible is against it. He made it explicitly clear. It's a weapon that the enemy uses. He knows that sex is important. In fact, sex is one of the most sacred things that God created. That is why it must not be outside the confines of the marriage. The Bible talks about the marriage undefiled. In Hebrews chapter 13 from verse 4, it said marriage is honorable in all, and they bade undefiled, but warmongers and adulterers God will judge. Now, if the wife understands the enormity of what we are talking about, she should do whatever is within her power to ensure she does not in any way deny her husband sex. It's true that some husbands can become very overbearing. You want it 7 days a week like some of us, you understand? But don't blame us. You understand? There are men like that who want to have it every day, every day. If you, as a woman, understand that your partner is like that, try to form let there be a compromise. I will tell you a story and I stop so that I don't talk too much. There's this person, this family in my place, where the woman and the husband had problems. What was the problem? The man said he wants to have 14 rounds every day. 14. In fact, we started using that as a joke when we would be talking about 14. When you hear us say 14, we are simply talking about sexual intercourse. So the man came to the woman and said, every single night you have to give me 14 rounds. And the woman said to him, you want to kill me? 14 in a whole night? 14 is too much. Okay, let us not quarrel. I will give you 7.
Wow.
Yeah, the one even agreed to have it, to say, I will give you 7 out of the 14. She said no. The matter had to go to the elders. And the elders say, okay, Oga, they have given you 7 out of the 14. Accept it. He said no, he will not accept it. And the elders say, okay, this is husband and wife matter. You people should go home and manage your 14. The woman said, okay, let us go. I will try. Let there be no problem. So the man continued to do his 14. And before that man died, his waist bended. He bent over from frequent sex because too much of everything is too bad. He continued to do that 14. He didn't know he was killing himself. I can understand that we need to measure what we do and make sure we don't overdo things, because even God hates when we overdo things. He loves moderation. But the truth is that sex has become a weapon in the hands of so many women, and they have pushed their husbands out. We need to watch it. We need to be careful. Thank you.
It is well. About the devil using it as a weapon, shall.
Well, the devil can use anything.
The devil, yeah, that's what I was just going to say. I think, yeah, Titi, go on. The devil can use anything.
Yeah, I want to say that yes, the devil can use it as a tool. That's why I said the absence or the overpresence of it, I said earlier, can be trouble. If one party wants it too much and the other party doesn't want it, it can be trouble. I would advocate for mutual understanding. Understanding in the sense that, okay, I want it, like you said, he wants it 14 times. Woman said 7. He might want it no positioning. So I think these are the things that couples should talk about: frequency, positioning, types, any of that, anything. And to go back to what we said initially, everybody works to make life better for yourself. So that thing that you are doing to make your life better, you also do it in marriage. You want to make your marriage better. As the wine is going old, it becomes sweeter, right? So also you have to put all those other tools in place. People have timetable: Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Oh God.
You understand? I remember when a very good friend of mine got married. We were still in school. A very good friend, and she was saying she doesn't want to have children till we're out of school. And I said, you are wearing bomb shorts and cooking jollof rice in the kitchen. Bros comes to work and he has never seen you as beautiful as you are in that kitchen. You are alone, and then something happens and you forget those latex that you kept in the drawer, bedside. What will happen to you? She said, I will go burn, and I said, fine, go with that mind. You understand? Everything is done with moderation. Everything is done with understanding. Understanding.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, God bless you, Uncle you. God bless you. All the 14 groups. I was going to
but let me also say something. I have a colleague. We work together. Sometimes we stay in the office till 8, 9 p.m. So once they finish their work, they go. Then I'll just round up and I'll go. And their work is tedious. When all of us are tired, bros will go and buy fresh fish. And then I will say, what are you doing fresh fish? Say, he go come and go ask my wife go cook, they go eat. And then, they'll do something. So we nicknamed him Chimuyi. You know what Chimuyi means in Hausa? Sure, make we do.
Okay.
Oh, Chimuyi. Okay. Chimuyi.
Yeah, so he will first of all give the woman fresh fish to chop. And that one. They will now do the other one. And I said, bros, no one, not the tire. He said, no, so they have an understanding.
Understanding that fresh fish understanding. Continue.
Personally, if I get the entire thing, I just chill. No, that time, but I will also argue for people and tell them that if the lady says she's tired, now the man they actually do the work now. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now the man
you're advocating hit and run.
No,
because if the lady is tired and the man comes and do the work, he's just going to end up eating.
The problem is that the women are always tired. There's always a complaint.
Yes,
and that's the problem. I am tired. I have headache. Now, somebody once asked a question. He said, what is the correlation between the relationship between headache and sexual intercourse? Because there are certain
Can we go back to the question?
That's the difference between a man and a woman.
Can we go back to the question? Can the devil use this as a weapon? That's the question we're answering.
Yes. We've established that one, and the devil can use anything. Just the way the devil can use anything. Sex is one of them too. So the devil can use anything.
In fact, sex is a very vital tool that the enemy is using now. In this our generation, in fact, it is one of the most cheapest thing you can find anywhere. I'm sorry about that if that word is derogatory, but it is very easy to find on the street. That is why we need to be careful how we treat our husbands or how we treat our wives, because it's both ways. It's not just the man alone, the woman as well. There are women who got angry with their husbands, they quarreled, they went out. Before you know it, one man say, the man doesn't deserve you. Before you know, before you know it.
And maybe it's a woman that has never known orgasm before. Then she goes outside and do orgasm one day. End of marriage.
Do you understand? See, there was a story, guys, of a couple that were attacked by armed robbers. Now, this couple they've been married and there was no issue. You understand? Now, there was also no orgasm in that marriage. So when these robbers came, they took money and everything and then raped the woman in the presence of her husband. That's the worst thing that can happen to anybody. The woman not only had orgasm in that moment, she had orgasm in that moment and also got pregnant. So there were two experiences. The husband told her when they found out she was pregnant to terminate the pregnancy. She said, no, we have been trying to get pregnant, no way. I will keep this pregnancy plus the orgasm that I've had for the first time in my life. So it's a very terrible story, but that's her own experience. So she refused, and that broke the marriage. So we must understand that the moment you deprive your partner of sex and is able to find something sweet outside, your own don't finish.
It might not be sweet, though.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It might not be
It's
sweet.
crazy.
It might also not be sweet.
It might not
That's
be sweet.
correct.
Just that he got it or she got it outside. Something
Yeah.
that is it's just like money.
Yes.
There's so many things that in marriage we have to actually handle to be able to should I say fruitful or successful in marriage, because apart from this every day, now my wife, now my husband, the other things we have to do. But I also think that once it's sex, like I was saying, you just come to a compromise. Compromise in the sense that you come to an agreement, not compromise, come to an agreement that this is what I want, this is what the lady wants, this is what the man wants, right? Communication, right? Okay, you now come to an agreement. Okay, this is what I want, this is what you want. We have to come to the center, and then I think everything goes well, because
Communicate, talk,
once
say what you want.
once both parties are happy, I think everything the sun shines at night.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. First of all, apologies to our viewers. We are going to stay a little longer. We cannot, of course, finish this topic today. That is why we are having it in the entire month. But there's still one issue that I would like these two gentlemen, who are our wonderful guests today, to address before we leave. So we might just be here for a few more minutes. Please bear with us. I hope that you are learning something and you're hearing us. And for the person who asked the question, I hope we've been able to answer your question. The enemy uses anything as a tool. And one of the main tools he uses to destroy marriages is sex, whether it is a lack of it or a presence of unenjoyable one, or like Anna said, over presence of it, because there should be moderation in whatever we do, and there should be communication of needs based on, talking about communication of needs. I would like to talk to sisters to say, to discuss sex with your husband doesn't mean that you are not a holy sister. It doesn't mean, especially sisters in Africa, own your sexuality. Talk about your need. It's your husband. And I mean, you have pledged your life to this man. This is the person you're going to be with for life. So life is too short for you to be there enduring. So you are married 10 years. You don't know what is called sexual enjoyment. Talk about it. There are sex therapists. There are people that can help us. Okay, all right. So my final question, because we are all Christians and we are all believers, and we've been talking about sex drive, and the Bible says no, like our bishop quoted here, bed undefiled. So we don't believe in premarital sex as a Christian. Now, what if I now marry brother, and brother's sexual drive is not compatible with mine, or sister's sexual drive is not compatible with mine? Brother wants 14, sister is satisfied with once a week. How do we know? Because we are not, they are not good. There's not going to be a pre-test and a pre-check. So we just come into it by faith. That's how many of us married. What do we do? What do we do if there's now an imbalance in, sexual drives and sexual expectations? I think that's where we'll hang the cap today, because the questions are enormous. There are many, but of course we have the whole month to deal with it. Yeah. So who wants to respond first?
I don't think the issue of pre-check or no pre-check comes in, because even if you pre-check, anything can happen in the marriage. By the time you eventually get married, anything can happen. People change, people's desires change, people's needs change. So even if you pre-check, it doesn't guarantee anything. So it goes back to the same thing: communication and understanding. You guys have to communicate, and marriage is one of the spaces where compromise and understanding is key. And it's so funny, because that's the way God does it most of the times. One person in the relationship is high up there, has a higher sex drive, the other person does not, and it is intentional. So we need to understand. If you understand how why these things are, you'll be able to approach it appropriately. It's intentional. The reason why God does that is to bring balance, so that nobody will come. You know what they call Igberaga? Nobody will come and be raising shoulder like this. I need you, you need me. So the person that is high up there will teach the other person how to do. The person that is not so high, the person that is not so high will learn from the other person that is high up there. And you that are high up there, you will teach the other person and also learn from that person, so that there will be balance. So understand that it is intentional. Don't see it as, see my cross, oh, see, I'm done for. No. Mhm. So see it as, this is what I have to offer. This is what I can, the way I can serve. So when you have that understanding, you'll be able to apply empathy and compromise in the relationship. That way, there's balance. So it is okay if one person has a higher sex drive and the other person has low. It's just to come to that understanding. Put yourself in the position of the other person. You may not have a high sex drive, but there might be that one thing that you love so much that if you don't have it in a day, or if you don't have it as often, you are not yourself. So imagine if you are in that position, and just understanding is key, and communication is very vital.
All right.
Well,
Understanding is key.
yes, and let me say this. Have you ever tried washing palm? You just try washing one hand. I mean, you're trying to wash your hands, but you just use your right hand to wash your right hand. That's the way it is with sex in marriage. But when you use two hands, you wash your hands very clean. When this one rubs this one, and then this other one, the left rubs the right, and the right rubs the left. That's how it should be with sex in marriage, because whether we like it or not, it's a vital tool, and then it has to happen for the marriage to stay alive, to stay successful. And then with age comes a lot of experience and the rest. The drive might reduce, but like Titi said, you can teach each other, and then you go from there. You cannot test before the marriage now. So it's when you get there, when you get into it, that you know that, okay, this person is as a high, is on the high, or this one person is on the low, or this person does not know how to do anything at all.
Bam.
You understand? But I think you can strike a balance. You can teach each other. You can learn things together. There are people that got married. Both of them have not done anything before, and they just entered it like that. So what would they do? They will have to learn, but they have to do it. So
All right. Okay, thank you so much. You will have to comment about that before we wrap up.
Okay, let me just say on this note that I think in this context, it's important that we constantly ask ourselves certain questions. For instance, you can ask your partner, how do I satisfy you? It's very okay to ask that question. It's not out of place. How do I satisfy you? Did you enjoy it? After every sexual intercourse, be open to your partner.
Bam.
To say, did you enjoy it?
Bam, bam.
It's a two-way thing. No, you didn't do well today. Oh, today was. In fact, when you have done well, you don't even need to ask, because they will definitely give you the result immediately. You will even see it. But when that person looks moody, no expression, nothing, you know that person didn't enjoy it. You ask that your wife, that your partner, did you enjoy it? And she says no. How can we do it better? You understand? What other methodology can we employ to ensure that the bedroom is always hot? We are feeling the heat. We are loving it. What can we do better? It's very important that we ask those questions, because don't just assume that because you have married her, finish. Oh, that's a very, very, is a misconception. We need to constantly ask ourselves this question: how can we do it better? What can I do better? How can I handle it better? What position suits you better? Is it in the kitchen or in the bathroom or in the, just ask those questions. Things that will make the man, the woman happier. Because if the bedroom, there's no joy, things are not happening, I tell you, it begins to break down. You begin to have breakdown of communication and relationship from sexual intercourse alone. That's why it's a very vital tool, like we have established today. Always ask questions on the way forward. Thank you. And thank you for having us.
Thank you so much, my guys. Oh, this is so interesting. I feel like we should not just leave, we should just stay here, man. This conversation is a big ocean.
We haven't even done 50%
We
of
just
the
started.
outline.
We are just still scratching. We are still scratching. There's the talk about sexual education. Whose responsibility is it, to give the children sexual education? This one that sex has plenty names, because people don't just want to say sex. When you say sex, their ears will be tingling, but you are doing it, you're enjoying it. But when to mention sex, it will be why? Okay, those are some of the questions we'll ask going forward, because we can't deal with all of that today. There's so many names. Boss Koyon, some holy people say they want to go to Jerusalem. When we were youths, we used to call it tending ministry. So many languages and names, just because people don't want to say the word sex. What is the shame about saying sex? This question, we are going to deal with it. We're going to talk about sexual education. We will talk about premarital sex. There's a whole lot to talk about. But we've scratched it today. I think we've laid a good foundation for the month. The key thing to take away from today is that, number one, sex is a vital tool in your marriage. It is a lubricant. It is important. It is necessary. Don't say, I don't like sex, and go and marry. Hello, sister. Just cuckoo stay a nun, please. Hello, brother. There's seminary. If you don't like sex, don't go and marry and start punishing that person that you married, And if you get married and you have issues of sex drive, he likes it, she doesn't like it, she knows what to do, she doesn't know what to do, he doesn't know what to do, or he's not satisfying, he's not doing it well, speak, communicate. There's no way he's going to know. There's no way he's going to come inside you and know that you are not happy. I remember.
And don't pretend you came when you didn't come.
They say a lot of women do that. Okay, you see, there's a whole lot to talk about in this thing. And one of the very, very first people, and I think I've never mentioned this before, that shaped my conversation and my life and my talk about marriage and relationship is the late Don Odunze. Those who were in the early 80s, they may have known him and his wife. They were going as a couple, teaching and writing about marriage. I think they are the Mildred and Okonkwo of today, Mildred Okonkwo of today, and the husband. Then, and I remember he said one time, he said, look, if the man finishes, like AU was saying, has driven into his garage and is about to drive out, hold him. He was telling this, hold him, say, uncle, wait. The work is not finished. You have only done one part. Part 2 continues. Because if you are not getting sexual satisfaction and you keep quiet, it's going to lead to sexual frustration. And like you was saying at the beginning, that his father gave him advice, correct advice. If the bedroom is not settled, even the food you cook will not be sweet.
There will be plenty.
Say, I'm always doing everything for my wife. Every time I buy her clothes, she doesn't appreciate. I do this, she doesn't appreciate. You are not doing the main thing she wants. And this happens when there's miscommunication. So please, let's talk about it. It's not forbidden. It's not a taboo. Growing up in Africa, they say, a woman, how can a woman ask for sex? How can a woman talk about sex? Even as I'm talking now, there are some people who might come across this video, say, married woman will not come for public, just be talking about sex. That woman spoil. Hello, yes, so I spoil. I not remain 24 years. It's not something to hide. I not remain. No, if it will give you peace in your home, if it will make you enjoy your relationship as God has said, hello, be spoiled. Speak out. Don't keep quiet about it. Don't die in silence. And then be teachable. Learn new things. Ask yourself. I like that very, very vital point that my husband threw in, at the end. How do I satisfy you? Am I satisfying you? When you hear the way women, when a woman start hailing a man that has done a good job,
Odogu.
when the man hits the junction, So it's not true that women don't like this thing. The truth is there's miscommunication. She's not happy. If you're always coming and going, doing your hit and run, she will not want to come. The next time you're calling her, she don't want to come. She will have headache. Is the truth. She will have body pain. She will have leg pain. She will have head pain. Everything will be paining her because she sees it as just an obligation or something she's doing by force. But if she's enjoying it, she'll even be calling for you. She'll be waiting for you. She'll be asking for it. So let's try and enjoy this thing. It's a lubricant. You know how oil makes things easy. It makes a lot of things easy for us in our marriage and our relationship. All right, I've tried to draw a summary. Thank you, everyone, for your comment. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Hopefully next week we'll be here again. It's Love and Sex 2.0 with another wonderful couple. Prepare your questions if you have them. You have comments. Please feel free to comment, ask your questions, and share with someone. You might just be saving someone's marriage. Uncle AU, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
He has been doing that for how many years now? And he's still there standing gidigba. God bless you.
My friend and brother.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you for always honoring us. God honor you. My Titi love. Titi,
you want to thank me for having me.
It's together now, Well, we just have what's the demand that we still say thank you, my love, for being here. I don't want to take it for granted. And thank you, sweetheart.
Thanks, love.
For coming. You could have been anywhere else. We are dealing with practical talks here. There's no pretense. We're not hiding it. We're dealing with it as it is. We'll see you again next week. We'll continue with Love and Sex 2.0. Tell your friends to tell your friends. Until then, have a love-filled week, everyone. God bless you.
God
Thank
bless
you for
you all.
coming. Bye.